Now, ANC eThekwini branches are meeting at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. eNCA's Siphamandla Goge is there and he joins us now on the line. Siphamandla, obviously after the drama, we know that that meeting was supposed to happen at 10 o'clock this morning, and a couple of hours later it hadn't started. What's the latest now inside and outside that meeting?
What is happening is that ANC members here, branch secretaries and chairpersons, they have just finished their roll call now. They were taken out of the meeting venue so that they can check and double check the issue of credentials, because there were reports of duplication. Some people came here and said they were branch secretaries, and they were told that no, you are not the branch secretary, there is another secretary inside. And so in order for the process to be smooth, they had to take everyone out so that they start that process again. And now the meeting, we are told, is proceeding inside, because already ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa and some NWC and NEC members are inside the meeting venue. Everything is smooth now. The meeting is proceeding. The incident that happened earlier was some ANC members were not happy with the gentleman that we interviewed. They claim that he's not the legitimate branch secretary. They said the legitimate branch secretary was inside the meeting venue, so they didn't want that gentleman to be interviewed. That's what was happening earlier on, but everything is calm now. The meeting is progressing. It's just started. We are told it was meant to start at 10 a.m., but they had to deal with those issues of reports of manipulation, or rather, sorry, of reports of duplication.
Now, obviously, a lot of unhappiness within the ANC circles, particularly in that province. Now, we know that some pro-ANC Cyril Ramaphosa members or branches calling out allegations of gatekeeping, and then you have pro-ANC Jacob Zuma branches accusing the party of factionalism. What is likely to happen today in that meeting?
The main aim of this meeting, the main agenda, is to assess the state of readiness for regional and provincial conferences. eThekwini region is the biggest ANC region throughout the country. It's got about 110 branches with a membership of more than 50,000, we are told. What will happen inside the meeting venue is that they will talk about the state of readiness for the regional conference. eThekwini is due for its regional conference in December. Some members want that to be brought forward. The provincial elective conference was meant to take place in April, but we were told last week by members of the provincial interim committee that that provincial conference will no longer take place due to unforeseen circumstances, quote unquote. So the majority of branches in eThekwini marched on Friday saying they are ready for the provincial conference. They claim that they have met the 70% threshold for that conference to take place. They are also calling for all other regional conferences to be convened. They are saying this leadership vacuum, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, is not helping the party ahead of the all-important 2019 general elections.
Now, what are these unforeseen circumstances that could have led, to that postponement?
Well, Provincial Interim Committee convener Mike Mabuyakhulu, who's also inside the meeting venue with ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, did not allude to those unforeseen circumstances, but we understand that based on the party's roadmap for the interim committee, they have not been able to meet all the deadlines for all the things that they were meant to do before their term expires in April. Because remember, they were given 3 months to sort out the issue of the provincial conference in KwaZulu-Natal. Their term of office expires in April. So they said they were not able to meet all the required deadlines to do that. Some branch general meetings are already underway convening. So they are saying they will not meet the deadline for the provincial conference, logistically that is.
Now, we know you were prevented from speaking to some ANC officials that were attending that meeting, but did you manage to get any word from ANC officials and the likelihood of what is likely to be the deciding factor within this meeting?
Well, ANC officials, the regional secretary Begin Tuli, told me that they will address us after this meeting with the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. But on the agenda of this meeting, they will be thrashing out the issue of the state of readiness for the regional and provincial conference. But you will recall that ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa is entering a lounge then, if I can put it like that, because remember that pre-Nasrec, he was not supported by the majority of branches in eThekwini. This is where the campaign and election lobbying for Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma took place, including the send-off rally in Claremont. So he comes here to a larger extent to some branches who did not support him. However, there were those who supported him. The eThekwini region and the Provincial Interim Committee say they have embraced him as the ANC leader, but we anticipate that it will be a serious meeting, because on Friday, when some pro-former President Jacob Zuma branches marched, they said the current NEC is factional. They want it to stop being factional. And also when the NEC member Barbara Creasy came here together with Dr. Zweli Mkhize, when former President Jacob Zuma was recalled, they had some tough time because the majority of ANC branches in eThekwini, they told them that they do not embrace the decision of the NEC to recall former President Jacob Zuma. However, they respect it, but they will not publicly defend it.
All right, that's where we have to leave it there. That was eNCA's Siphamandla Goge coming to us live from KZN.